Hello, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update video today because I know things have been a little bit weird here on the channel for the past week, and I want to just explain to you guys why that is. I don't want to leave you hanging and not knowing what's going on with me and the channel and all stuff like that. So let's go ahead and start off with last week. Last week was, of course, a very lacking week in terms of content on the channel, and there was a few reasons for that. The first reason was the weekend before last week, I was actually at my friend's bachelor party. We had a wonderful time drinking beers and playing Magic is basically what it all summed up to. And now typically on the weekends, I like to spend some time either prepping for content or working on content for the following week. So I was tied up all that weekend doing that. And then at the beginning of last week, so on Monday, I was able to do a force feed, but during the beginning of last week, I actually, it was Monday evening that I left, and then I was gone for Tuesday and into Wednesday. I made a trip out to San Francisco, courtesy of Paradox Interactive. They actually sent me out there and a few other YouTubers and press people to take a look at some exciting new upcoming games that they're going to be producing. So that was a great time, got to go out to San Francisco. I actually got to meet up with Northern Lion, who's a wonderful individual that I may be working on some collaborative projects with in the future. And yeah, just seeing some really fun games, playing some fun games, and meeting some great people. It was a great time. So again, that took up, I left Monday evening. I was gone all day Tuesday, and then I flew back in Tuesday night, and I got back like Wednesday midday. Back here up in Maine, and then I'm like, all right, all that craziness is done with. Now let's go ahead and get to work. Didn't end up happening. All of a sudden, I came down with these terrible feverish symptoms. I was bedridden for basically the rest of Wednesday, and then into Thursday and Friday afternoon. Like I could barely do anything. I was able to squeak in a few videos. I don't know if they seemed off. They probably should have, because I was just, I was like constantly sweating. I had no appetite. I was not eating anything. I still don't have much of an appetite. But anyways, there's a little bit more to the story. It wasn't just a fever, it turns out. So yeah, I've got these feverish symptoms. I'm not feeling so hot. And then to make matters even worse, on top of me being sick, my friend's wedding was this past weekend. So we had his bachelor party the weekend before last week, and then this most recently past weekend, it was during his wedding. So I'm feeling really sick like Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Friday, I'm like, all right, let me just try to get like 1 or 2 videos done before I leave for the wedding. And then right before we're about to leave for the wedding, I've taken a quick shower, and then my girlfriend notices when I get out that I've got this big mark on my back. And I said, oh, that's really weird. I wonder what that's from. Turns out that it's a bullseye rash, and after doing a bit of research, there are very few things that a bullseye rash can actually be. In fact, it's almost guaranteed that if you have this type of a rash, that you've got Lyme disease. And so what happened is I'm like, holy crap, like Lyme disease. Lyme disease can be really, really bad. If you catch it in the early stages, you'll do all right. But if you don't catch Lyme disease, it can lead to heart problems, problems with your nervous system, arthritis, like meningitis. There's some serious things. You could potentially die from getting Lyme disease. I mean, it's a legitimate thing to be concerned about. So we see this rash, and I'm like, holy crap. Well, this is my best friend's wedding, and I'm thinking, all right, well, I'm going to hold out one day. We're going to, I did his wedding. It was a great time. Couldn't even stay for the whole thing because I was feeling so sick the entire time. And then we ended up going on Sunday to a walk-in clinic, and just to confirm, if you will, that I had Lyme disease. And there we go. The doctor took a look at me. I told her about my symptoms, how I was basically just feeling feverish. I had no appetite. I felt very weak. And then she took a look at the bullseye rash, and she's like, yeah, you've got Lyme disease. So I got prescribed, I believe it's doxycycline is what it was called. I'm supposed to be taking it for quite some time. I think it's at least a couple of months. And I also need to go get blood work done at some point in the future, just to make sure that I don't have any of those potential complications that can come with Lyme disease. But since we have, I believe at least, it seems like we've caught it early. The first stage of Lyme disease is that feverish symptoms, feeling stiff, things of that nature. And that just happened last week. So, and we just caught the rash as well. So, I'm happy that I was able to catch it, at least in the early stage. And hopefully there are no complications. I'll be sure to let you guys know in the future. So yeah, the point of this video was sort of twofold. One, to let you know why content was lacking last week, because I started off the week crazy busy, and then I ended the week super sick. And I am feeling a little bit better, though, because now I'm on the antibiotics. I've only been on the antibiotics for about a day and a half now, but they really appear to be helping. The bullseye rash is disappearing. And ibuprofen is helping to keep the fever down as well. So I'm feeling good enough to at least talk into a microphone. It was so funny because you'd figure, oh, you're sick, you can still play video games. I tell you guys, last week, I couldn't even sit at the computer screen. It was, I was like, I need to be sleeping. That's how bad I felt. But again, rest assured, I am feeling quite a bit better, enough to at least be talking to you here right now. And we're going to try to get some content up this week to keep you guys entertained and to let you know that I'm not dead. So there you go. All right, well, that'll do it. I just once again wanted to update you guys as to what was going on with me and the channel. Thank you so much to everyone who has reached out and with best wishes and things of that nature. I posted up on Twitter yesterday that I had Lyme disease and got a great response from people, and that is, of course, greatly appreciated. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning Lyme disease. Well, don't own Lyme disease as in having Lyme disease, but kick its butt. Yeah, that's the plan. Take it easy, guys.